Good morning. Thank you very much for coming. First, I received a question. Is over here, the temple is called Koloa Jodo Mission. And the question is there any name for Japanese? Is there a Japanese name for this temple? So Koloa Jodo Mission, how do you translate Koloa Jodo Mission? This is a question. And generally, people, type for Japanese temples. One is called Sango, and the other one is called Ingo, and another one is called Jigo. And mostly the Jigo, something Ji, like Jodo Ji, Isshinji, Hozenji, the something Ji is very popular. And my hometown is Daisenji. Something Ji indicates a temple. But there are two more names for temple usually. And the one is called Sango. Sango is literally translated into mountain name. Sango. So the first temple name is Sango. In Japan, Mount Fuji. How do you call Mount Fuji in Japanese? Fujiyama. So in Japan, I think that in foreign countries, Fujiyama, because mountain is Yama, right, is very popular. But in Japan, Mount Fuji is called Fujisan. Yeah, so all the mountain in Japan is called San. Fujisan, Myoko-san, Hakuba-san, yes.
Is Yama also a bigger word for like nature, mountain, but also bigger?
Oh, yeah. So because, yes, the Yama indicates, yes, more bigger, like the big object, like nature. Also, most temples in Japan have mountain name. And number two is called Ingo. Here, in indicates that huge building surrounding by the fence. A huge building surrounding by the fence is called in. Yeah? And in actually is also temple. And number three, Jigo. Is temple name. So the formal temple name is supposed to be a very San in Ji. So, for example, the Chioin temple is very well known. Chioin, yeah, Chioin is very well known. But Chioin has Sango and also Jigo. And Sango is Kacho, Kacho-zan. Then Chion-in and the temple name is Otani Dera or Otaniji. So that is the formal name of Chion-in. We just take Chion-in. But the formal name is supposed to be Kacho-zan Chion-in Otani Dera. That is a long name. Yes. So another example is that in Tokyo, the head temple is called Zojoji. So Zojoji, this is number 3, Jigo. But Zojoji has also mountain name. So mountain name is called Sangenzan. Sangenzan. So it's over here, written over here. Sangenzan. Then Ingo is Kodo-in. And Jigo is Zojoji. So Zojoji, we say Zojoji, it's an abbreviation, and the formal name is supposed to be long. That includes mountain name, temple name, and standard temple name. So the formal name of Zojoji is Sangenzan Kodo-in Zojoji. It's a long name. So the question, back to this question, Koloa Jodo Mission, what is our Japanese name? Is we say Koloa Jodo In. So we use Ingo. So Koloa Jodo In. We use In. And all the temples, Jodo Mission temples in Hawaii is called In. Hirone Sho-in, Hareiwa Jodo-in, Hakarau Jodo-in, Jodo-shu Betsu-in, and Hamakuwa Jodo-in. All the temple in. But most temple doesn't have Jigo and Sango. Because the history of the temple coming here is relatively new as compared to Japan. So they didn't create a formal long name. They just take whatever very convenient word when they establish the temple. So they just name In, Jodo-in, Jodo-in, Jodo-in. So the English translation, Koloa Jodo Mission, Japanese is Koloa Jodo-in. But over here, temple, when new temple building was built in 1985, the Japanese artist, Mr. Shuho Koiwai, painted this ceiling art. So Japanese painter donated the ceiling art like over here. So in honor of the artist, Mr. Shuho Koiwai, and also because Koloa Jodo Mission didn't have any mountain name. So Reverend Kodo Tanaka Sensei named first time Sango. Okay, this temple, Koloa Jodo-in, the mountain name, Sango, we name Shuhozan. Yes, so in honor of the Japanese artist painter, we name, give name Shuhozan as a mountain name, Sango of this temple. So the formal name of Koloa Jodo Mission in Japanese is Shuhozan Koloa Jodo-in. Shuhozan Koloa Jodo-in. The meaning is the mountain of Shuho and Koloa Jodo-in. That's the formal name. And still we're missing. So in the future, if we wish to have the temple name, we can say, something G. like Shuhozan, Koloa, Jodo in Kosenji, something like that. Something Jodo in Jodoji, Kokurakuji, uh, Ojoji, Ojo. So still number 3 is missing. So this is thinking about the future. By the way, when Sango, the mountain title, was started in China around the 5th to 6th century, around that time, so many temples were built. So many temples was built. And so many names, same names were used. So many same names were used. So in order to make it different, separate, in order to understand the right temple, they name the mountain of the temple. And also, temple used to be in the mountain in old days. So that's why they take mountain name in addition to the temple name. So this is custom is 5th to 6th century in China. So after that, so many temples use some. So the name become longer and longer, But in Japan, we don't like any longer word. Japanese people don't like any longer word. So we just take the very shorter version, whether in or ji. Yeah, some temple very famous as Ingo. Some temples, most temples famous as Jigo. So that's the Sango, Ingo, Jigo. That's the temple names. So today, this is we say that in praising of Amida Buddha in Otsutome book, let's see. Oh, yes. Dake is a small amount. Oh, small amount is like take. But also kind of rich, many mountains. Oh, really? That's what we call take. Page 24、省略門、法名返上実法世界、念仏主上摂取者。So before explaining about Shoyakumon, I want to explain the important concept of to see, to look. And to look, kanji is called miru in Japanese. Miru in Japanese. And the kanji miru came from the kanji for eyes. So from the kanji for eyes, the kanji for miru, to look, view, or watch, or see. And in Buddhism, to look, to see rightly is very important. In order to understand rightly, we need to see. And this is the very basic idea of right view. Right view. If we can have right view, then we can have right understanding. If we don't have right view, then we might have wrong understanding. So to see the world correctly, to see rightly in this world is very important, right view. So the kanji to see, to look is very, very important. Then we might have a question that, okay, then how about sometimes, unfortunately, there is a blind man that cannot see, from the birth, cannot see. There are some people that cannot see. Then we can understand in this way. Sometimes, because we stick to what we see, we can't have a right understanding. If we stick to what we see, then we might have a wrong understanding. And there is a very famous example that during Edo era, there was a scholar, blind scholar called Haniwa Hokiichi. Haniwa Hokiichi was a Chinese scholar for the Chinese literature, and he was a blind man. And while he had a class during nighttime, they used to have candles. So they use the candles for the class to read. And all the students read under the candle lights. Then all of a sudden, the light went off by the strong wind, by the gust, made the light off, and it became all dark, all darkness. And the students, but Hokiichi, the sensei, teacher, continued lesson. But the student cannot see. So sensei, we cannot see. And then Mr. Hokiichi, the scholar, says that, oh, you are such a handicapped man. You are such a handicapped man. You cannot see, I can see. So this is a great understanding for the blind man. And Helen Keller, she knew this story, and she visited Japan, Helen Keller, that she cannot see. Helen Keller, yeah, she cannot see, she cannot hear. So she somehow knew the story of Hokiichi Naniwa. So when she visited Japan, she wanted to visit relation of the place that Haniwa Hokiichi. So this is a very good story. So sometimes if we stick to what we see, because we see, that makes me wrong to the place. So what we need is that to see rightly and to understand rightly with mind eyes, So actually, to see outside and also the essence. What is the essence? Not only the outline, not only the out appearance, but also the essence. To see essence. To see essence is very important. And so Japanese, and I mean the kanji, make it separate clearly to look appearance, only outside. Then we have kanji for to look inside, to look the essence. So that is the kanji for ken. That is a general verb for the view. And another kanji is kan. So kan, the kanji, this kanji. So they are all both called mirror. But we use a different kanji for look outside or look inside, look the essence. So this kan is to look the essence, to look the essence. So we make it separate. Also, there are some kanji for to look. We all like different, like so number one, so number two, look and investigate. So this is a kanji, miru, and it means to look. But because we have this is a suggestion. So to look and investigate. So this kanji means that to look and investigate. And number 3, kanji is very interesting. This is hand. And hand plus eyes. That means like a doctor sees a patient. The medical doctor sees a patient. Then we use this kanji, miru. So this means that not only look, but also to take care with hands. So this is a kanji for miru. And number 4, this miru, to look, is actually, you see, left side is meaning words. So not only look, but also words, with words. So this is miru means that question and answer. Not only look, but also making question. Are you okay? What do you have pain? So this miru is usually used for the medical treatment. So these 4 types, actually 5 types of kanji, all meaning looking and seeing, and they are all called miru. But depending on the situation and the place, we use different kanji. So today I want to explain kenbutsu and kanbutsu. So kenbutsu and kanbutsu is traditionally very important part of Buddhism, because how do you see enlightenment? If we continue to practice, of Nembutsu, how do you know we are enlightened? How can we tell we are doing right thing? So ancient people believe that after the making practice, there must be sign or proof that we are heading to the right way. There must be any sign for the goodness, improvement of the practice. Then we thought that after the practice of Nembutsu, we can see Buddha. Yes.
Kenbutsu here is different from Kenbutsu sightseeing.
Yes.
That's same?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because Japanese has many homonyms, same pronunciation, but the butsu, the kanji, is different. Yeah. So the ken is same. Butsu is things. So the sightseeing for kenbutsu is to see things. That is the kenbutsu. And for Buddhism, kenbutsu is Buddha. Yeah. So kenbutsu in Buddhism is to see the Buddha. So after the practice, we can see the Buddha. Yeah. So that is the idea. But how do we see the Buddha? Is this one. With mind eyes, look the essence of the Buddha. So that is kanbutsu. So kanbutsu is actually nowadays translated visualize. Visualize Buddha. But I think kanbutsu is more like imagination. with concentrated mind, with concentrated imagination, is Kambutsu. So the practice to concentrate with concentration to imagine Buddha, then we can see Buddha, Kenbutsu. So this imagination may be called meditation. Whether we can be happy or not, we imagine. If we can imagine happiness, and if we can come to happiness, then that is the right practice. Yeah? And if we cannot imagine happiness, then naturally it's hard for this life to come to the happiness. The imagination first, imagination, happiness, then later towards the happiness we go forward it. So in like manner, imagination of Buddha first, imagination of the Buddha first, then we can have a result of to see the Buddha in this life. So using this Kambutsu, Kan Muryo Jukyo. So today we read Meditation Sutra, Kan Muryo Jukyo. So Meditation Sutra is literally visualizing the Amida Buddha image, visualizing Amida Buddha image. Then, how do we see the Buddha? So, today, what we did, we start concentration on one thing. It's very difficult to see many things, but we can start one thing. That is to imagine of Buddha's white tuft over here. To imagine one thing, then you can have more things. So anyway, the Kambutsu first, imagination first, then we can have a result. Is the idea of meditation. So in order to see Buddha, the priests practice like they stayed in the temple for 90 days to walk around the Buddha, clockwise all the time. And while they walk around the Buddha clockwise, then they recite Buddha name, Namu Amida. And not only reciting, but they contemplate, they think of Buddha, they imagine Buddha figure. That is a traditional practice, that is Kannen Nenbutsu. So walking around all the time, walking around the Buddha, reciting Buddha name, Namu Amida, Namu Amida, and thinking of Buddha's image. That was the very traditional. So kind of a mind control, that we stand in the small place, then we repeat. Maybe some illusion come up. That they, as a result, they can see Buddha. But Honen Shonin, whether you see Buddha or not, it doesn't matter. Our Nenbutsu is not, it's okay that we cannot see Buddha. But what is important is that we go to the Buddha land. We go to the Buddha land is much, much important. So we emphasize that if you can see Buddha, that's okay. But it's okay that we don't see Buddha. But what is important is that to go to the Buddha land, to wish to the Buddha land, to go to the Buddha land, to have faith in going to the Buddha land, to have faith in that I want to see Buddha, I want to be reborn into the Buddha land. That is very more important than Honen Shonin. So after Honen Shonin, this tradition of imagination of Buddha is not emphasis much. It's okay. More important is that we have faith to go to the Pure Land. So that is Honen Shonin teaches. So anyway, this meditation sutra, there are 13 ways of concentration of imagination. How we can have imagination of Buddha land. So the number one imagination start with, you should look at the sun setting. You should look at the setting sun and imagine how magnificent the sun is. And right over the sun, there is a Western Pure Land, Buddha land. You should imagine. So then, next, the Pure Land is that all the ground filled with many kinds of jewelry. So this is the imagination of ground. And then the next is the imagination of jeweled water. So this continue and continue and continue the meditation sutra, how we can imagine Buddha land. So that is the sutra. But again, whether we see Buddha, whether we see sunset, whether we see the jeweled ground, it's okay. It's okay. What is important that we go to the Pure Land. So last week that we see that Honzege is a Bodhisattva, Amida Buddha's original birth. Amida Buddha became Buddha and he made 48 vows to complete. And this vow, the Honzege says that Amida Buddha's vow to save people is the most essential gate to going to the Pure Land. And whether you concentrate on the practice, meditation, or you can have scattered mind practice, it doesn't matter. This practice, what is important, to transfer the practice of whether scattered, whether concentrated, to transfer to the practice to going to the Pure Land. That is very important. So anyway, the Honzege states that what is very important is that Amida Buddha's, not our practice. It is Amida Buddha's original vows. That is the most essential gate. Because Amida Buddha made vows to save people, then to believe in the vows is an essential gate. So right after that, 光明返上、十方世界、念仏主上摂取不捨. So this is English translation says, in praise of Amida Buddha's light. In praise of Amida Buddha's light. However, Shoyakumon literally means to take merits, taking merit. So this Shoyakumon literally means taking merit's birth, And what kind of merit is that? The light. So let me translate literally. The light illuminates 10 directions of the world. The light illuminates 10 directions of the light. Then the light take the light take the person who called Nembutsu. And the light never abandoned. The light never abandoned the person who called Nembutsu. So this is the meaning of Komyo Henjo Jippo Sekai. So the fact is the light illuminates all directions, 10 directions, always shine upon, illuminate the 10 directions. But the light save the people who recite Buddha name. And the light never abandon the people who recite name. That's the meaning. So this actually translation is not right. Because what is subject? The subject is the light. And the light indicates that Amida Buddha's eternal light, infinite light. So this is a subject. Subject is light. That translation is komyo. And komyo literally means bright light. So this sentence, the subject is bright light. Then verb is, number one verb is to illuminate the world, to illuminate every world. And number two verbs. Then what light do is that take is save, the meaning is save. Save people. The light save people. Name who called Buddha name. And number three verb. Then light what to do is the light never abandon. People. Who call upon the Buddha name. So this is the right understanding of Shoyakumo. The subject, the center of this verse is, subject is komyo, the bright light, brilliant light. Then illuminate 10 directions and save people, take people who called Buddha name. And the light never abandon people who call the Buddha name. So this is the meaning of Shoyakumo. Because talking about the great merit for the people who practice Nembutsu, that we call Shoyakumo, taking the merit first. And inspired of this passage, the Master Honen made a poem, very famous poem called Tsukikage. So the Tsukikage is the moonlight illuminate every corner of the world. Moonlight always illuminates every corner of the world. However, those who gaze upon the moon, only those who gaze upon the moon can appreciate its beautiful light. So that is a Honen Shoni understanding of this passage. Amida Buddha's light illuminates 10 worlds, but those who call Buddha name can save it and never abandon. So inspired by this passage, Honen Shoni made a poem. The moonlight illuminates every corner of this world. But those who gaze upon the moon can appreciate its beautiful light. So that is Japanese is that 月影の至らぬ里はなけれども眺むる人の心にぞ住む。月影の至らぬ里はなけれども眺むる人の心にぞ住む。So this is what we call the essence of Jodo. So Buddha's compassion is everywhere, but we need to realize. We just need to realize Buddha's compassion. Yeah. So this is the birth of 光明返上実法世界念仏主上摂取者。So I wrote some Japanese over here. So they are all meaning to take. Take. In English, take is very convenient, convenient verb. Whether we can say take medicine, take food, we can say take picture. In many occasions, we can use take, right? But Japanese, depending on the situation, all kanji are different. Just to take medicine different, to take picture different kanji, to take tour is different kanji, and also to take record is different kanji. But whether English take is very convenient word. So over here, 小訳文、小訳文 is actually to take. But this to take is that to take something good. To take something good. We specially used this kanji. Okay, so today we recite the meditation sutra, and also 小訳文. Yes.
Going back to the Buddha, there's a phrase, moonlight enters our mind, we are purified. Yeah. Bypassing, going to the temple, walking around, see the Buddha, getting enough to sit outside, look at the moon. Somehow let it enter our mind. I don't know what you have to do for all this. So we are purified. We just let it.
Yeah, so that's why all the practice we don't do it. We stayed in the temple, spend 90 days. We don't, we go outside. So that is the way that Koloa did. He left the temple and seek the truth in the reality, in the real world.
That's what I do. It's in Japan. A lot of these temples, gardens, very nice place to sit down. You just relax.
Yeah, to have peace.
Very nice. Feel That's my experience.
So the role became changed, and the role of temple is changing, depending on it. But it is for sure that the Jodo came to Japan. The teaching of Jodo came to Japan. There are lots of beautiful temples created that they want to make through the Jodo in this. So they created the beautiful garden, very elaborated garden, because they imagine Buddha land over here. So the people wanted to create Buddha land. So they imagined what is Buddha land. Then they created beautiful garden. So beautiful garden in the old days is that Jodo garden. Jodo garden. So Pure Land, yes, has a beautiful pond, beautiful jeweled ground, beautiful towers. So the garden represents Buddha. So today, page 14, 三部条。We reverently call upon Amida Buddha, the world unknown, enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon Shakyamuni Tathagata, the enlightened one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this sacred place. Sangege. The harmful actions I have done in the past are all derived from my inherent greed, anger, and delusion. Born of my conduct, words, and thoughts, I now repent them all. 10年。ナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムアミダナムアミダムツナムアミダム開教芸 Page 42. 42, the visualization of Amida Buddha. Shinjin Gammon, literally the verse on the visualization of the true body, also known as Bushinkan or simply Bushinkan. Verse on the visualization of Amida Buddha's physical attributes come from the Sutra of visualization on the Buddha of immeasurable light, in which Shakyamuni Buddha shows all the pure, resplendent Buddha lamps in the 10 directions to Queen Vaidehi, who asked him to reveal a land of no sorrow and suffering. Of these lands, Vaidehi expresses her wish to be born into Amida Buddha's pure land, which is referred to in this sutra as the land of the utmost bliss, Gokuraku Jodo, of Amida youth, the Buddha of immeasurable life. According to Pure Land tradition, it is in this sutra that Shakyamuni teaches Ananda and Queen Vaidehi that calling Amida's name brings ultimate peace and happiness. The passage in this section, Homyo Henjo Jippo Sekai, Henbutsu Shujo Sesshu, the light of Amida Buddha shines upon the 10 worlds, embracing and never forsaking those who practice Nembutsu, inspired Honen Shonin to compose the words for the poem, which was made into the Jodo song, Tsukikage, Moonlight. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, when these perceptions are achieved, you should next visualize the physical attributes and radiant light of the Buddha of immeasurable light, Amitayus. Ananda, you should know that the body of Amitayus Buddha is as glorious as 100,000 million pieces of gold in the Jambu River of Yama heaven. His height, 60 trillion miles, is as countless as the sands of the Ganges. The white tuft of hair between his eyebrows, curling to the right, is like 5 Mount Smells. The Buddha's eyes, like the waters of the 4 great oceans, the blue and white are distinct. Every pore of his body radiates bright light like Mount Smell. The Buddha's aura is as expansive as 10 billion of the 3,000 great southern worlds, and within this round aura are hundreds of thousands of millions, as countless as the sands of the Ganges, of transformation Buddhas. Each of these Buddha manifestations also has an assembly of countless manifestations of bodhisattvas as attendants. The Buddha of infinite life, Amitayus, has 84,000 major marks. Each of these attributes also has 84,000 minor marks of excellence. And each of these also has 84,000 rays of light. Each ray universally shines upon the realms in the 10 directions, embracing and never forsaking all living beings, calling Amida Buddha's name. His light, physical attributes, marks, and transformation Buddhas cannot be fully explained. Only through deep contemplation can you see them in the mind's eyes. If you experience this, you will see all the Buddhas of the 10 directions. This ability to see all the Buddhas is called Nembutsu Samadhi. Forming this visualization is called the visualization of the bodies of all the Buddhas. By envisioning the Buddha's body, you also see the Buddha's mind. The Buddha mind is great compassion itself, embracing all beings with unconditional compassion. Those who practice this visualization discard their bodies for the other world. shall be born before all the Buddhas and realize insight of non-arising. For this reason, the wise ones direct their thoughts to clearly envision Amida youth, the Buddha of immeasurable life. To visualize the Buddha of immeasurable life, begin with one attribute and mark. First, simply visualize the white tuft of hair between his eyebrows until it appears perfectly clear. When you see the white tuft of hair between his eyebrows, the 84,000 attributes and marks will naturally appear. As you see the Buddha of immeasurable life, you will also see the innumerable Buddhas of the 10 directions. Having gained the vision of innumerable Buddhas, with all the Buddhas before you, you will receive the prediction of your future enlightenment. This complete visualization of all the physical future of the Buddha body for the ninth visualization. To practice in this way is called right visualization. Any other practice is called unorthodox visualization. Page 23. 23. 혼세예. 이다 혼세이간 Amida Buddha's original vows are the essential gate to the ultimate bliss. May this merit be transferred equally to enable us to immediately attain birth in the pure. 10年。ナムアミナムナムアミナムナムアミナムナムアミナムナムアミナムナムアミナムナムアミナムナムアミナナムアミナムツナムアミナムPage 24, 小訳文。vô明返上自法世界名物主上世主 The infinite light of Amida Buddha illuminates the 10 directions of the world, and all who call upon his name shall be received and never abandoned. page 62. 62. Betsueko. I revere the king of the great compassionate vows, Amida Buddha, the dispatcher and founder of the teachings, Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Buddhas, as many other sons of the Ganges in the six directions, Kannon, Seishi, all the great bodhisattvas, the world assembly of ultimate bliss, the beings of the pure and great oceans, and the three treasures and the great compassion. May there be harmony below the heavens, with the sun and the moon shining brightly. May the wind and rain be timely, and disasters and calamity not arise. May nations be bountiful, people safe, and armies and weapons not to be used. Let us revere virtue and humility, and cultivate respect and humility. Our High Patriarch Komyo, the Great Master Shantao, our founder, the Great Master Enko, Tozen, Ejo, Hokaku, Jikyo, Meisho, Wajun, Honi Daishi, Honen Shoni, the Second Patriarch, National Teacher, Daisho, Shoju, Shoko Shoni, the Third Patriarch, the Recording and Meditation Master, Kishu Ryochu Shoni, the light of transmitting the Pure Land, and all the great patriarchs by realizing the compassionate blessings. The founding master of our temple, Reverend Jitsujo Muruyama, Reverend Gentetsu Harada, Reverend Kenjo Ito, Reverend Shozan Kato, Reverend Ryukai Yamaguchi, Reverend Shuzui Hino, Reverend Myoshu Hayashi, Reverend Kenjo Urakami, the restorer, and all the priests who serve this temple with a frequent practice will achieve perfect enlightenment. My prayers to my teachers and ministers, to my father and mother, to all the temple members, donors, and all living beings with whom I have karmic connections. May all those who are living experience joy, prosperity, and longevity without limit. May those who have died escape from suffering and transcend to be born into the pure light. We pray for the peace and stability of our temple and for complete affinity with the past. May we be completely free of hindrances and cultivate our practice of the Buddhist path. Since the founding of this temple, to all the members, daily and monthly memorial tablets, the recently deceased, those in the intermediate stage of existence, and to all spirits, may we cultivate virtues so that they may be enlightened. We now hear on with the virtues accumulated from this place of practice to transfer our merit to all ancestors and all living beings for their happiness and achievement of enlightenment. Page 26. 願にしくどく世の聖祭の都合大師往生安楽を We aspire for these merits and virtues to be equally bestowed upon all. And may we together develop the aspiration for enlightenment to achieve birth in the pure land of peace and bliss. 10年。ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブツナムアミダブ Page 27, 双眼芸。無変性願道。無変性願道。無人性願地。無常内性願生。自我崩壊上利益。English. However, innumerable sentient beings are, I honestly vow to enlighten them. However, inexhaustible delusions are, I honestly vow to extinguish them all. However, immeasurable the Buddha's teachings are, I honestly vow to comprehend them all. However, incomparable enlightenment is, I honestly vow to attain it by all means. I sincerely wish to share the blessing with all beings. Together we are born into the pure land of ultimate bliss to achieve the way of the Buddha. 三将来。May we now call upon all the Buddhas to return to their lands. We offer incense and flowers in appreciation to send them. We ask for your compassionate guidance and protection. May those who have gone before us to encourage us to attain birth in the future. Thank you very much.